marketing at Xiaomi India. Now let's get to why we are all here, the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Now, Note series has always stood for one key thing. It has been the best all-round device available in the market across all price segments in the country. And this has happened for years. In fact, I was talking to a couple of fans out there, and I found people still using the Redmi Note 3. It's just such an incredible device. And that legacy has carried forward in each generation. Incredible all-rounder. Manu also spoke about the fact that the Redmi Note 5 Pro was the best-selling dual-camera device in the country. We have taken things even further. With the Redmi Note 6 Pro, as you can see, we've given it an incredible tagline, a quad-camera all-rounder. It is a Note, it is an all-rounder, and now it comes with 4 cameras. But not just that, a whole lot more. Let's talk about the cameras. Now, in Xiaomi, we have focused a lot on cameras, and we've come a long way. With the Redmi Note 6 Pro, we are bringing in our first quad camera setup to the country. And with the Note 6 Pro, it also takes things a lot further. It's not just a quad camera for the name of it, but it changes things significantly. Let's look at the primary camera and how we've changed this. Now, the primary camera actually is comprising of a 12 megapixel high-performance sensor. Now, this captures all your key images. Along with that, there is a 5 megapixel depth sensor. Why did I say high-performance sensor? Because when you take pictures like this one, you get incredible details. Now, this picture was not clicked by a professional, but our team, and this is clicked in Bali. What you can see, incredibly detailed picture here. The overall colors in the ocean are captured really well. Even the color of the water, as it gets close to the land, changes, and that has also been retained. Right? But not just that, if you look at the foreground, now this is really good contrast here, and the leaves are also in focus, detailed. What's also really hard for cameras in this segment to capture is the shadow and how accurately that's depicted. Let's look at another interesting image. Now, this was captured by Lucy. She's part of a global team. And this was shot around the Horseshoe Bend in Arizona. What you can see is the overall shadow of the cliffs falling on the Colorado River, the colors that change, and how accurately that shadow has been actually captured on the river. Not just that, when you come to the foreground, the overall detailing of the cliffs, including all the layering, and obviously these layers have formed over millions of years, so incredibly important to kind of capture this detail coming in. But what I would want you to do is look at right at the top. Now, this is something that most cameras will struggle with. When you've got such harsh lighting coming in, you've got so much detail in the foreground that most cameras will miss out on the detailing on the sky. And not only do you have that, but all the clouds and everything else is also depicted accurately. Now, obviously, you've seen some great dynamic shots, but there's another segment that we've been focusing on at Xiaomi, which is to improve your overall photography experience when the light conditions are a bit more challenging. Now, there are a lot of changes that we've done to the camera. However, I'd like to take your focus to a few of them from a hardware perspective. Number one is, for the first time on the Note series, you're using a wider f1.9 aperture. Now, with this aperture, what we've also changed is the camera sensor itself. Now, the camera sensor here has a massive 1.4 micron pixel size. Now, how does it work together? How does it change your overall camera experience? With the Note 6 Pro, not only with a wider aperture, you are able to capture a lot more light. In fact, this light is a lot more compared to the best-selling dual camera in the country, which is the Redmi Note 5 Pro. But with a larger pixel, a 1.4 micron pixel size, incidentally, can obviously effectively process about 25% more light. So you get more light coming in, and your sensor can also process this light better, giving you incredible photographs in low light conditions. Let's take a look at this particular shot. Now, this is a really good shot. Of course, it has to be because it's clicked by the Note 5 Pro. You get all the detailing. None of the edges of the sign are blurred out. The entire colors are coming out accurately. Now, what happens if you've got a wider aperture and a larger pixel size, and both of them working together along with Xiaomi's camera software? You get something like this with the Note 6 Pro. Now, the same scene shot, you get a whole lot more detail. What you didn't realize with the first one is this entire sign sits on this acrylic board. You can also see the rivets at the back. You can see the wiring. It's just able to process that light so much more better. And of course, the reason we've done all of this is because our fans have really liked our cameras, and this is something that really matters when we're kind of pushing this to the next level. Let's look at a couple of other low-light shots taken by the Note 6 Pro. Now, this is an amazing shot again. Now, this is a bridge late at night, floodlit, so it's really hard to capture the light properly. Of course, the parts that are lit are detailed, in focus, but what about parts which do not have a floodlight coming through? For example, if you look at this particular beam here, now not only is this beam clearly seen, you can even see the individual rivets on that beam. It's absolutely incredible in terms of the details you can get with the Note 6 Pro. Not just that, if you look down and look at the road signs are not fuzzy. They're in focus, they're sharp. In fact, you can even see the shadows of the beams coming onto the road. Now, this is something that you will not see from a camera in this segment at all. Let's take a look at another one. Now, this is another sign, really hard to capture because there's a lot of light coming in from the neon sign. But behind this, you can see the pillar. All the details of the brickwork has been preserved perfectly. Even the bar at the back can be seen. So that's the Note 6 Pro with the new wider aperture, which is f1.9, and also importantly, a 1.4 micron large pixels. You are able to get clearer and sharper low-light photographs than ever before, making this one of the best cameras that you can buy across segments. One more aspect which is quite interesting when it comes to low-light photography, and that's how quickly can you focus. We have not left that out. With the Note 6 Pro, you also get faster focusing. Of course, this is something that we spoke about with the Note 4 as well, and then the Note 5, is we introduced something called PDAF, or Phase Detection Autofocus. Now, how that works is roughly about 5% of your pixels are actively finding this focus and helping you focus faster on objects. The reason you need a faster focus is because you want to eliminate those blurry photographs coming in. When you're trying to take a capture, say, for example, somebody is blowing out a birthday cake, right? It's a hard image to capture, and of course, you just get that one moment. Imagine that that's a blurry image. So Note 5 Pro, obviously, you saw, is an incredible camera, but with the Note 6 Pro, we are taking this to a whole new level. What you get is dual pixel autofocus. That means all 100% of the pixels are helping you find this focus. The net result is a much, much faster focusing speed for all your photographs, especially when it comes to challenging light conditions. Let's take a look at how much difference it makes when you're looking at this focusing speed. So on your left is the Redmi Note 5 Pro, and this one is the Note 6 Pro. In all conditions, whether it's color or a little more detailed one, the Note 6 Pro focuses a lot faster than the Note 5 Pro. So essentially what we've done is we've taken the best camera available in this segment and made it a whole lot better. With faster focusing, what you can get is images like this one. Now he's doing parkour. Obviously he's off the wall. Now this shot, if you can see, he is completely in focus. You can see all the details, including his hair, but also the background is kept in focus, it's detailed, you can see all of the elements. The entire faster focusing really helps get this. So dual pixel autofocus. Now this obviously started with DSLRs and we brought it down to the segment for the first time. We also have kept electronic image stabilization. Now this is something, again, a lot of Mi fans were asking us for. You guys were taking a lot of videos, and these videos With the EIS, you're able to kind of reduce the overall jitters, the shake that comes from these videos, making them a lot more shareable across channels. Now, this is some part of hardware and changes that we've got. However, we decided to take the Note cameras to a next level altogether. For the first time ever on the Redmi Note, we've got AI scene detection. Now, why is this such a big deal? All of us, almost everyone, when we take a picture, we end up editing. Right? So we would go to that picture, try and play around with the contrast, or maybe try and change the overall saturation levels. But here's the harsh reality. Only 2% actually know what they're doing. Remaining 98, me included, have no idea how to get the best possible image out. Okay? And this is where our R&D team, our camera R&D team, has worked really hard, working through thousands and thousands of images for each scene to develop a really powerful learning algorithm. And it detects different scenes and gives you the best possible image. Scenes like your everyday city or architecture, or for that matter, if you're taking a picture of even a document, how is that text a lot sharper? Sunrise or grass, how do the leaves kind of stand out a bit more? Of course, the first image that you saw of the image in Indonesia, where the leaves were really standing out, you could see some of that AI power coming to the fore. Even the people in our office in Bangalore have worked on certain India-specific scenes. For example, with the wedding season on, right, how does the Redmi Note 6 Pro camera highlight the jewelry better on the bride? Right? All of these things add up to make a really great camera. Let's look at the AI scene detection in action. Now, this is an incredible shot, of course, and it's a landscape. You can see the sea, you can see these mountains going up, you can see a beautiful sky. The AI scene detection understands this, enhances the overall color of the ocean, so it's bluer. The contrast ratio on the land has been increased, and even if you look at the horizon, which you would normally miss out, has been dehazed. So you can see the horizon a lot more clearer. Overall, a much better picture. Before, or without AI, and with AI, it makes a whole lot of difference in terms of the camera images the Note 6 Pro is able to capture, and finally, what are the memories that you are carrying with you. So, a wider f1.9 aperture with a massive 1.4 micron pixel size, dual pixel autofocus for incredibly fast focus, electronic image stabilization, and now AI scene detection. All of them work together to give you a flagship level AI dual camera experience. But it is a dual camera. And the reason we have dual cameras is because we want better portraits. And I'm just jumping the gun here, but with the Note 6 Pro, it's just taking it to the next level altogether. Of course, what you know about Xiaomi's portrait mode is it works really, really well. We've got our own AI semantic segmentation, which is able to differentiate the subject from the background and really get you those beautiful blurs. For example, if I compare this with, say, a flagship device like the S9 Plus, what you can see is not only are the details on the subject a lot more, but the overall edge detection is far superior. The hair color is a lot more accurate, but even the edge that you see on the hair side, or even the shoulder here, makes a lot more difference. But not just that, it's also the depth information and how you use it. The overall depth information here on the Redmi Note 6 Pro is a lot more than what you get on the S9 Plus. So with the Note 6 Pro and Xiaomi's AI semantic segmentation, you get incredible portrait shots ready to go up on Instagram or any of your social channels at all times. Really good profile pictures. But like I said, with the Note 6 Pro, we are taking portrait photography to the next level altogether. That we are calling AI Portrait 2.0. Now, again, you've got two cameras. What are those two cameras doing? Are you using that to the maximum? With AI Portrait 2.0, we think we are. What you get is you get adjustable bokeh. You get studio lighting and light trails. Let me talk about each of these and why they're important. Adjustable bokeh. Now, typically, this is found on flagships. In fact, Apple recently announced their latest flagship, and they really highlighted this feature. Of course, in Xiaomi, we believe that innovation is for everyone, and hence we are getting it to the Note series. What you do is, of course, you get an incredible portrait shot with the Note 6 Pro. But now, the power goes back to the user, where you can decide how much bokeh you want to apply. All you need to do is go to the gallery, and you see the portrait icon up top. Click on this, and then after that, you get that control. So the amount of bokeh you want to apply is with you. So that's one. Number two, we've added studio lighting. Again, something that you see on flagships. How studio lighting works is, again, with our semantic segmentation, we're able to understand where the subject is, remove the background, and give you this really beautiful, dramatic shot. Not just that, we've gone a step further, and we let you do various customizations, different effects. So you've got a rainbow effect coming in, you've got cinematic effect, again, really dramatic. You've got a blinds effect, and there are total 6 of this. So 6 different portrait effects coming in on the Note 6 Pro. I don't know, it's a 6.6 thing. The next one that I want to talk about is also really significant for this segment, which is light trails. Now, this is coming for the first time on the Note series, and this is something that was very close to our heart. So that's why what we did was, to shoot light trails, we got the best model that we could find. An incredible handsome man, introducing Commander Galsasi Bro. So of course, with Rohit being there, everything anyways looks good, but there is a bokeh here, in case you forget. Of course, what you can see is those lights at the back. Now, what you can do is apply effects like this. So this is a swirl effect, which is dynamic. Not just this, you've got 6 different dynamic bokeh effects. For example, the light circles, or diamonds. And when Rohit is with Mi fans, to capture his mood, hearts. So what you do get is, for the first time ever, you get dynamic bokeh as well on the Note 6 Pro. Once you've done this dynamic bokeh, what you can do is you can easily capture this either as an image, which is the final image, or as a video, which can be readily shared on any of your platforms, whether it's social or whether you want to put it on WhatsApp and send it across to somebody. So you get incredible portraits every single time with the Note 6 Pro. In fact, when we compare the portraiture on the Note 6 Pro with some of the flagships out there, nobody offers you this level of control, right? There are people who offer portrait mode, of course. There are some people who have adjustable bokeh, but none of them offer you light trails, studio lighting, AI scene detection, all in one complete all-round package. It's just an overall incredible dual camera setup. So to sum it up, flagship level AI rear dual camera, you got an incredible 12 megapixel plus a 5 megapixel depth sensor. It has dual pixel autofocus. It has electronic image stabilization. You get better low light photography thanks to the wider aperture and the larger pixel size. You've got AI scene detection coming in and recognizes 32 categories. And of course, what we just saw, really dramatic, really cool AI Portrait 2.0, where you can control your bokeh, you can have light trails, and really dramatic studio lighting as well. But we did say quad camera, so let me talk about the 2 cameras up front. Now, these are also really cool, where you've got a 20 megapixel primary camera, and this is clubbed with a 2 megapixel. What we did was we tried to do a comparative shot. Unfortunately, we had to kind of look at anything else which had 2 cameras in the front, so that it was fair to others, right? So the closest one we could find was the Samsung A8 Plus. Now, this one is a 28,000 rupee device, but it does have a dual camera in the front. The results, actually, we had to go back time and again to check if they were actually coming in from the camera, because there's a whole lot of difference that you see. If you can see the overall blur level, the bokeh that comes at the back, the edge detection is the next level with the Note 6 Pro. In fact, let me zoom in for you. If you look at the hair and the details that are coming into the hair, but not just that, but the edge detection, which is really tough in a scene like this, coming in all from the front camera alone. Really great shots. Let's look at a few more portrait selfies. This is, again, a great shot where the background blurred out beautifully. But what's also important is you see the hair, you see her entire arm, everything is pin sharp, it's in focus, while the background gets this amazing bokeh. Another image, everything else of the subject is in focus, and the background is blurred out. It retains the depth information. You get this gradient depth as you go further, overall providing for a great front portraits as well. The 20 megapixel also comes with a super pixel technology, where it bins 4 pixels together to form an effective size of a 1.8 micron massive pixel size. So essentially, in low light condition, it helps you take in a lot more light and give you better low light selfies like this one. Again, a great low light selfie. She is still in focus. You can see everything clearly, and of course, the beautiful bokeh, especially with those lights at the back. It looks really cool. We have, in the front camera, kept AI Beautify, which detects your overall skin, analyzes that, and digitally applies kind of a makeup. Obviously, it does a whole bunch of things, but we'll not go into that, because there's something even better. We've added AI scene detection to the front camera, not just the back, but the front camera also gets AI scene detection for the first time ever. And this one can detect up to 12 categories. So for example, if you're taking a selfie in front of a beach, it will detect that. Or for example, against a sunset. Or maybe if you're next to some foliage, some leaves, right? And how this works is quite interesting. Now there's a whole lot of things that will happen. But let me talk about this. So you look at this particular picture. Now Xiaomi's AI semantic segmentation will detect where this person is, enhance that photograph. So this is digitally applying makeup. It looks a lot brighter. Knows what the background is. And if you've not gone for a portrait shot, it also improves the overall background image. Let me show you again. So original image, the person gets AI Beautify. The background, it knows it's for leaves, and it applies AI scene detection to that, improving the overall image quality. So what you get are incredible results. So even from a front camera perspective, what you're getting is a flagship level front dual camera. You get 20 megapixel primary with super pixel technology. You get a 2 megapixel depth sensor. You get real-time portrait preview. You get AI portrait selfie, AI Beautify, and AI scene detection. Some of that working together as we just saw in the last slide. So from an overall camera perspective, not just rear or front, but the 4 cameras working together. So flagship level quad cameras, what you are getting is a 12 megapixel plus 5 megapixel rear. You get great low light photography with a wider aperture, larger pixel size. AI enhancements, AI scene detection, and of course the incredible AI portrait coming in for the first time. In the front as well, you get a 20 megapixel camera and a 2 megapixel depth sensor with super pixel technology. You get AI portrait selfie along with real-time preview and scene detection in the front. Again, a new one. So a whole lot of things happening here on the camera, giving it almost a flagship level quad camera experience.